Guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Dexious Graphics, and today I'll be showing you guys how to create a simple double exposure effect using 3 images. Let's get right into it. Okay guys, so you open Photoshop and then you go to your image that you want to use and you import it into Photoshop. So you go up to select and then select subject. So it takes a while to select the subject. We're using select subject because the image is very clear and it's easier for Photoshop to recognize the isolated subject. So you go to your layers, then you create a layer mask. And the reason why I'll create a layer, okay, you select unmask, you right click on the layer mask and then select unmask. The reason why we use the layer mask is to help us edit the image without it losing its original form. So in case we want to adjust the original or want to take it back to the original form, we can do that. So as you can see, the image is not properly selected, so you decrease or you increase transparency, you will see the edges of the hair are cut off. So you use that tool in select and mask to paint around the edges. It's like a brush tool, but it's to reveal some areas that Photoshop could not select. So it can also select parts of the background that may have been selected alongside the image. So you just paint around and paint across it, and the Photoshop will do the rest to isolate the image from that background. So you press OK and then you're good to go. So as you can see, the image is looking much better. So you now want to start the full editing process for the double exposure. So you create a black and white effect, black and white layer rather. So once you've done that, you select both of them and then merge them. So you merge them in order for them to become one image. So the image, as you can see, is not complete. So I had to create a kind of body for it to help with the editing, so that my imagination does not get stressed. If you know what I mean. So this helps me understand, okay, like parts that I need to work with to help to ease the process. You may not need it, but when you create a clipping mask and everything, you need something like a case to enclose it. So you use the pen tool to create that part of it, then you convert it to a shape and then you select it. You select the 2 of them, then you merge the layers. So you import the remaining 2 images that you want to use. As you can see, it's a couple. So you create a clip mask and then you merge. Once you create a clip mask, you can duplicate that layer. Once you duplicate that layer, you hide it. Then the first layer that was clip masked to the image, you create a layer mask off of it so that you can erase and restore if you over erased, so you don't continue to press Ctrl Z every time. So as you can see, I'm cleaning the image, parts that I don't need to show, and then the parts that I want to reveal for the face. Then the image that was duplicated, make sure you don't adjust the position of that image. You also create a clip mask and then a layer mask, and then you select the layer mask icon, then you select the layer mask and then you erase. So as you're erasing, you look for where the 2 images blend, and then that works fine. Parts of the image that blends with the background or that can easily blend with background, just don't worry too much about them. You can use a fade brush later, faded hardness, reduce hardness of the brush so that you can cause a fade. So the parts that I don't want to show, I erase them, and then yes, that's that for that part. So I reduce the hardness to clean off some parts that I don't want to show. After that, you can import the next image. So these images, you can get them on pexels.com or on Splash. the lady you can get her on Unsplash, then the 2 other images on Pexels.com. So you reduce and you adjust the image to fit however you want for better observation and to see where you are putting the image. You can decrease the opacity for easy adjustments. So once you're comfortable with the composition, you go ahead and create a clip mask over the original image. So you shift layers, you adjust the layers because it won't clip mask if the layer is not directly above it. So that image will be the one that gives us a base so that we can apply the remaining the second image. We'll duplicate that very image. So now I'm erasing off parts of that original image. I also still erased on the clip mask, the layer mask, so that I don't erase a part of the image that I may not be able to get back. So I duplicated that layer after I erased the part I don't want to show. Then you see where the need for that layer mask comes in. So as I disable the layer mask, you can see a part of all the parts of the image which restore to its original form. So the layer mask, I created another layer mask, and then white is to erase, black is to reveal. So you will see what I mean later on in the video. You can use Ctrl-Z, but then if you want to reveal a part of the image after a long editing process, you can always go on the layer mask and then switch it to black. You switch it at the edge there where the colors, background colors are black and white. So once you've done that, once you've erased the part that you don't want to show, you can after you've cleaned and erased the part that you don't want to show, then you double click the image layer and then adjust the whites and the black. So what this does is it reveals any part of the image that is dark. If you decrease the dark parts will disappear, and if you decrease the white parts of the images will disappear, as you can see. So I wanted the dark parts of the image to stand out, and so I reduced the white and I clicked OK. Then I duplicated the layer again to create the birds at the top. So I increased the opacity back, then I duplicated the layer. I saw that I needed to erase to reveal some parts. So you can switch between black and white by pressing the letter X. X will reveal, or we switch the background colors from white to black. So after that, you duplicate the layer, the tree layer, then you rotate it. So you select the layer mask and then reveal the birds at the top. So any part that you want to reveal, you switch the background color to black. Any part you want to erase, you switch the background color to white. So as I switched it to black, as you can see there, once I switched to black, the birds are revealed. So the trees, some part of the trees were showing, so I switched it back to white and then I erased that part. So please don't mind the way I'm doing this. It's my first tutorial where I'm talking over it, and I hope you're following. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, share with your friends, and like the video, please. Thank you. So I had to reduce the birds. The birds were too much. It was becoming too crowded. Simplicity is always the best. Then I reduced the brush size to access some of the smaller beds. So that's basically it. Then I merged the entire layer, all the layers, Control Alternate Shift E will create a digital layer, a very clear image. Don't know if you get what I'm saying. So Control Shift E will merge everything and make it into one image. Control plus Shift plus E will merge them into one image. So you create a camera raw filter over the image. You select the image, then you go to camera raw filter, and then you adjust the temperature to give it that cinematic feel, just a dramatic feel. You get. You adjust detection clarity to give it some pop, and then you adjust the no, you don't touch the if your images are not very clear, you can adjust the sharpness and reduce the noise. Then I added some grain to give it a kind of full blend to make it look very realistic. You get something like that. I wanted to add a vignette, but I didn't. So, but I added the vignette in a very, very basic way. So I applied the effects, and as you can see, it looked quite good. Looked pretty good. Then I created a solid layer. I wanted to add the vignette, so I created a solid layer and then changed the color to grayish, dark gray. And then I wanted to change the blend mode, but then I thought blend mode is tampering with the colors of the image. So I just reduced the opacity to probably around 10, I guess, or 15. Then as you can see, a layer mask is already created on the image, and then clean up the parts that I want to reveal properly, and that's the middle, the actual image. I actually want to reveal the image. Yes, so I increased the brush size quite a bit, then painted in between the image to bring it out so that it creates that dramatic feel. And that's basically it. You're done with this, so you can replicate, you can redo it however you want. If you enjoyed the tutorial, please do not forget to like, do not forget to subscribe, and expect more tutorials to come. So, and feel free to replicate. You can DM me on Instagram at Dexius_graphics and show me what you created. So guys, this is basically it. Any other thing, it's just me playing around to give it a proper look. So cheers guys, hope you enjoyed it.